Alright, welcome back to Great Wave Diagnostics. Working on a 2015 Chevy Traverse. It's got a fish bite misfire. It's got some other misfires too, but those I believe are related to the dirty valves. This is a GDI engine, so notorious for that. But this has a fish bite misfire under load, or it's a specific load, specific speed, specific RPM. So we're going to recreate it. In the scanner, I was able to figure out that it was cylinder 3 doing it, so now I want to figure out why. So right now, I got my oscilloscope hooked up to a number 2, which is a good cylinder, and number 3, just so I can have a comparison. So here we are. So I got cylinder 2, cylinder 3. So when I'm driving, these will actually be coming in close together. So the firing order is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So or 6. So I'm going to show you under the hood. So I got my sensor on number 2. I have a sensor back there on number 3. And it's just a rolled up piece of solder. That's all you really need. You don't need any fancy ignition probe. You could use a penny or an alligator clamp if you really wanted to. On my ground over there. We're gonna go for a ride and see if we can figure this out. Need to make sure I'm not gonna ruin my cables. Alright, so I'm gonna take it for a drive. I can't do this with the phone in hand. So I'll come back once I see an issue on the scope. Alright, so it seems like this is actually a secondary issue on the ignition system, whether it's the coil or the plug, I don't know yet. That's number 2, and that's number 3. And so when I get the real hard fish bite, this is what happens. So I'm going to swap, I'm going to put the plug in number 5, I'm going to put the coil in number 1. Number 3 should then have good coil, good plug. And I'm going to monitor all 3 on the back side. I'm going to monitor 1, 3, and 5. And I'm going to see if I can, see this happening in one of the other cylinders. Or maybe just use the scanner. I'll use a scanner at first to see if the misfire counter goes up on a different cylinder. If so, then I'll go to the scope here because I can't really do both at the same time. So after swapping the plug from cylinder 3 to cylinder 1, I kept the ignition coil of cylinder 3 on cylinder 3. Took it for a drive. Lo and behold, misfire is gone. I still see a little inconsistency on the secondary ignition waveform from cylinder 3. But what do you do in this case? Do you replace the coil or do you replace the plug? Now, these plugs are brand new. I just put these in probably maybe 6 months ago, I think it was. AC Delco. So they're not your top of the line plugs. Spark plug is going to make a spark. So, but do I replace coil or the plug? I'm thinking of actually just replacing both of them. Sometimes I have seen in the past where I need a combination, where specifically like this, where you need that coil and that plug to be together in order to create this misfire. Now, I'm not going to go further. I could put that plug back in cylinder 3 and see if the misfire comes back. I could put, maybe you need a certain cylinder condition. Maybe the conditions in that cylinder are just right to also aggravate the situation too. Anyways, that's probably what I'm going to do. Replace coil and the plug, since this thing's not misfiring anymore.